Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Bullshit. Iron Man is 5'9". Get out of here. I just looked up his height. No, he's not.
Wait.
No, you're not.
Robert Downey Jr. is 5'9", or no, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Man. No, Robert Downey Jr. is like 5'6". He's like Tom Cruise's height. Like they're all small guys.
Get out of here, man.
I might need to move to Hollywood. This might be the only way I can get over 6 feet. They just start billing me at like 6'3".
Jesus, dude.
I was just telling Micah off air. I got my, as I had mentioned previously, I finally got my orthopedic insoles this week. So yeah, that's right. I'm no longer 5'9". I'm 5'9.5", I believe. It feels really weird being old. But now maybe at some point I can actually run because I can't run otherwise. So that's been my excuse. We'll see. We'll see.
Nah, just start wearing high heels. You know, you'll get the height, you'll get the calf workout.
Yeah,
you'll be straight.
No, the easiest way to get calves is just to gain a lot of weight and then lose it, right? Like it's like wearing a rucksack. Like I'll just put on 40 pounds, like I'm carrying a rucksack around. Build my calves because I'm team no calves, and then lose the weight, and then you keep the calves. That's how it works.
I thought the easiest way to get calves is to cut your calves open and stick a shoehorn or something in there, right?
Oh yeah, like that. Yeah, it's a new surgery.
Surgery that dudes get.
Yo, you got to be an insecure motherfucker to get calf surgery. That's a wild move. It's shoving tennis balls in the back of your legs. You look ridiculous. Come on, man. You look ridiculous. Don't get butt implants and don't get calf implants. It's silly. You look silly. Nothing is worse than me perusing your Instagram and seeing your butt lifted halfway up your back. Oh, no, I worked out. I do squats. That's not what squats do. Stop. You look silly. Thankfully, calf implants I don't think are as popular as they were at one point.
They used to be super popular, man.
Check these out, guys. Like, nobody cares, right? Like, nobody cares.
Dudes ain't looking at your calves. Right?
Look at this.
And I don't think women care about calves when they want to lust after a man, do they?
No, forearms are the thing women lust after, like of things you can see on guys, right? Like forearms, chest, arms. Like, that's it.
Yeah, like, ain't nobody looking at your fucking calves.
Oh shit, it's short season, y'all. Like, nah. Right. That's really weird, man. I mean, maybe some women, right? Like some dudes are really into like, women's whatever thing that, is an oddity to, other people, like guys who are into big noses, me. But like, I don't think a lot of women are like, they're not in the calf game. Like, I don't think those are big searches on Pornhub.
Yeah, nobody, that song with Silk Sonic doesn't go like, it goes if you're trying to lay in these arms, not like if you're trying to get wrapped around these calves. You know what I mean? Yeah, ain't nobody leaving the door open for calves.
You don't know that. You don't know that. I'm looking at calf implant images, and these are ridiculous. Oh, that guy's calves are actually that's pretty good. All right. Maybe maybe I need to sign up. No, I can't look at medical pictures of that. That's horrendous. Sorry. Wow. No, don't do that. Don't do it. Just do calf raises, guys. All right. Checked out this week. Perfect transition. Checked out this week. I did a review, and of course I watched, The Eyes of Tammy Faye. This is the, Jessica Chastain, Andrew Garfield, feature about Tammy Faye Baker and Jim Baker. The sort of the rise and fall of these, TV evangelists, if you don't know their story. It's a crazy, fascinating story. It's great. It's great. I was super interested in this when the trailer came out. I am not a religious person, which I think should be said just because, like, to give you perspective that it's not bashing religion. Like, it really isn't. And it's also not like lionizing it either. It's just talking about these two people going through what they went through. And just kind of giving a pretty honest look, I think. You kind of forget how good Andrew Garfield is as an actor, right? Because he kind of disappeared after Spider-Man for the most part, right? He was just kind of like, you know what? I don't like mainstream movies. Like, he was just like, I don't need it, right? So he kind of bailed for a little bit. But I kind of missed him. I realized, like, he's really good as Jim Baker. Like, crazy good. And then Jessica Chastain, I can't say enough good things about her as Tammy Faye Baker. She was excellent. The entire cast is really good. Vincent D'Onofrio as Jerry Falwell is fucking fantastic. Like I said in the review, I would watch a Jerry Falwell biopic if they bring Vincent D'Onofrio back in the role. Like he was super good. Yeah, it's really good. And it's just, her story is really interesting and complex. But you just forget how insane their like televangelist show was. Like it was nuts. And if you ever watch The Righteous Gemstones on HBO, you realize that's exactly what they copied for that show, right? Not just like televangelists in general. No, it is clearly Tammy Faye and Jim Baker. Like the shows and the dancing and like all that shit is all exactly the same. It's actually kind of wild to see it lampooned on that show. But I highly recommend it, whether you're religious or not. Eyes of Tammy Faye is really good.
Yeah, I really want to see this. I'm fascinated with grifters and religious grifters in general, in particular, because there's a quality that I kind of admire in human beings' ability to bend the will of others to serve their needs. You know what I mean?
As you have a almost deity-like image of Dr. Doom standing behind you. Or sitting behind
somebody
you.
thought that was, somebody commented they thought that was Jesus, a poster of Jesus behind.
I mean, basically, in his mind, it's like referring to yourself as, you know, Superman. Like, you know, like seriously, it's just crazy.
I live in a cardboard box.
I do.
Cardboard world. But yeah, I'm super interested because I always find it fascinating.
Yeah.
That because it seems like something that one, you should be able to point out immediately, right? Like, no, this guy is something ain't right. Right. But and it also seems like something that anybody can do, but you can't. On either side of it, right? Like people can't pick it out, people can't do it, but I'm one of those people, I can't do it, right? But I can pick it out.
Because you have a moral center, right? Like that's why you can't do it, right? Like
that's why I can't do it.
That's why you can't do it. But you also have a functioning fucking brain and you're not easily brainwashed. That's why you can point it out and be like, yo, this is bullshit. Like it's bullshit. Like the thing is, like, going into this movie though, is you have to, and I think this is why a lot of people do need to see it, right? Is Tammy Faye Baker was not a grifter. Like,
right.
She was just super naive. She was a believer. She was super naive. Like there's a moment she's just like, are we doing everything right? And Jim Baker's like, of course, let's get this fucking money. Right? Like he was such a scumbag piece of shit. But at the same time in the beginning, like he was a believer, right? Like he really is a very religious guy, but he was just like, let's get this money, right? Like that was his whole thing. Like he just wanted to make a bigger and bigger fucking thing. So it's really fascinating, especially from her perspective as a person at the right hand of power, but not realizing what was going on really. And like, until it was kind of like too late. And they deal with her, you know, her version of Christianity, which I would argue should be the version that everyone uses, which is like, everybody is everybody, man. Like we should just love everybody. Like that's supposed to be their whole thing. And like, there's that is supposed to be, right? And, you know, and of course, obviously there are Christians who do believe that, but, there's just a moment where she's interviewing this guy who is a recent, he's a gay man in San Francisco and he's recently diagnosed with HIV, and she's interviewing him on the show. It's like, this is a very famous moment and this is not made up for the movie. It's very famous. And backstage is, like Jim Baker is like, he's talking to, Falwell and they're just like backstage and they're not really paying attention to what's going on the live feed. And Jim is like, hey, why don't we take a look and see what, Tammy Faye is talking about? Cause she would do shit like, she would bring people on and talk about like penis pumps and shit like they were talking about like whatever would help Christian marriages and stuff. Like it was wild to watch if you didn't know that type of stuff. Like they were open, like, you should be having sex, and healthy sex with your partner and stuff like that. So like she did stuff like that, right? So they tune into the live feed and she's interviewing this guy. He's like, well, I found out I have HIV. And Falwell is just like, we gotta get this off the television. Like, he starts like freaking out. And he's like a really stone faced guy. And he just starts kind of freaking out. And like, she just was all about like equality and all this other shit. It's a fascinating story, her own fascinating story in the rise of the religious right. Like, it's in America. Like, it's kind of crazy. And then couple that with like them like tangentially talking about their connection to politics, right? Like, we got to help Ronald Reagan get elected and all this other stuff like that. All of that sort of rising at the same time they are. But, The Eyes of Tammy Faye is excellent. I would not be surprised if Jessica Chastain and Andrew Garfield aren't talked about when it comes to Oscar time. I really wouldn't be. I think they probably should be. Especially Jessica Chastain. She was great. You watched the first 2 episodes of Star Wars Visions. I'm jealous.
Yeah, so I probably could have and should have watched all of them because they're only
15 minutes, I heard?
15 minutes long, which is probably why they dumped all of them on there. But I only watched the first 2.
How many episodes is it?
9.
Okay.
I'm gonna say like 9. So it's not a long commitment,
right?
But the first 2 are pretty good. Look, I watched the first one because it's the one that I wanted. It's the one that I was most anticipating. Right? It's the one that looks like a Kurosawa film.
Yeah. Okay.
And of the 2 I watched, and probably of the 9 I watched, it is going to be and probably is going to remain my favorite.
Okay.
Look, it's very basic, right? You take this property that, borrows heavily from Asian culture, right? And you make a Kurosawa film out of it, essentially. Right. But man, if it doesn't hit all the things that I'm looking for in a Star Wars Japan mashup. It took me back to my college days when I started watching movies with subtitles in them, right? Like, I started watching like a bunch of Asian cinema because, I found another weeb and they introduced me to a bunch of weeb stuff. And,
right.
and yeah, man, I really dug the animation. I really dug the style. It's beautiful, man. And, the use of color. It's in black and white, but the sabers are in color and some of the lights are in, from the droids are in color. It's the perfect mashup for me of what I want to see out of these things. The second one, the first one's called The Duel. The second one is called Tatooine Rhapsody. It's about a band who has to save, one of their band members from, Jabba the Hutt and Boba Fett. And, it's I probably should have watched The Duel last. If I'm being perfectly honest, I didn't really care for this one. The animation is great. The style is not necessarily. The style is more modern anime.
Okay.
So I didn't really care for it, but I'm looking forward to watching the rest of them. I'll definitely have all of them done before next week. If you only watch one, watch The Duel. I think that's the one that you would probably appreciate the most.
I'll try to burn through as many of them before next week as I can.
Yeah. If you are, then watch The Duel last, because I have a feeling you are going to appreciate The Duel a little more than the rest of these.
Okay.
Especially because you're not a big, I know we joke about you not like being an animation fan, but
I still don't watch a lot of anime.
Yeah, you just don't watch a lot of it. And I think you would appreciate The Duel as a very
as a storytelling medium.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Fair enough.
I hate to say it like that, but
yeah, I mean, I don't fuck with cartoons. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
when you really want to denigrate anime, I don't like cartoons. It might be a little bit more than that. No, it's the same. It's Looney Tunes and anime. It's all the same to me. Yeah, I definitely want to check it out. I just haven't had time. I was like, it was on my list and I barely got through, watching, this episode of What If this week. So I was like, fuck, I'm not going to have time to watch Visions. All right, cool. Good. I'm glad that it at least made some level of a positive impression. Then there is the 7th episode of What If Thor were an only child. This to me is just silly. And I'm okay with that. It wasn't amazing. But I did enjoy the fan service of showing like every alien, in the entire MCU basically showing up in this episode. I thought was kind of fun. But it's a goofball episode, right? Like this is on the last third of episodes. That's sort of the rise to the triumphant ending, right? This is all going to be positive shit. So yeah, I thought it was silly. Thor being this like party god, and he comes down to Earth because he just wants to fucking hang out, and his parties are so legendary that they end up destroying planets. It's silly. What did you think? Because I have a serious point to make about this.
It was fun. I did enjoy it. Like you said, it was just silly. It's funny. We got to see, Captain Marvel and Thor fight. And I remember, the interview that Brie Larson and Chris Hemsworth and Don Cheadle were having with Entertainment Tonight. And it felt like, they're actors, so I don't know what's bullshit and what's not, but it felt like there was a little bit of friction between Brie Larson and Chris Hemsworth. And, I think Chris Hemsworth was kind of being silly, and I think Brie Larson took it in a way that it may not have been intended. And, they were arguing about the strongest Avenger. Chris Hemsworth was like, well, I'm the strongest Avenger. And Brie Larson's like, no, I'm the strongest Avenger. And then Chris Hemsworth was like, are you? And it was tense. And then poor Don Cheadle was just like, these fucking white people.
Like, why am I here? I got a robot suit, yo. Boom, you looking for this?
Fun. It was fun to see those two like fight, right? Like to see who is the strongest Avenger.
She
right?
is.
And
she is.
I mean she is.
Yeah, she is. Come on, knock it off.
Like stop. I know you don't like girls, strong women or whatever, but
she is stronger than him. She is.
She is, yo. She is. But it was fun to see them fight. And it just reminded me of that. But yeah, it was cool, man. Like it wasn't anything, blowing my mind, right? Like I would imagine that Thor is kind of, he is kind of like that. It's just like, what if Thor never had a character arc, right? Like,
yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
What if he was Thor from the beginning of the movie and just never
changed. That's exactly right. Like, so your point about the interview between Hemsworth, Larson, and Cheadle is exactly the point I wanted to make, right? Or piggyback off of that. My only issue with this episode is it further gives those like fanboys who were obsessed with shitting on Brie Larson as like, yeah, she's a bitch and all this other stuff. It kind of is they will take this completely out of context, which is the point of this dumb party boy having to be put in his place by the women in his life because he's a fucking giant child. They will take that as like, see, the people at Marvel hate Brie Larson too. That's my only problem. Like I get, and it's stupid, right? Like anybody
you're not paying attention either,
right?
Because
they don't, right? These are the same people. I think 90% of them are people bitching on the internet. 90% of those people are just not that bright. 10% of those people, the other 10% were people who were purposely taking what she said out of context so they could make videos and generate a bunch of revenue, right? And people fell for it, speaking of like manipulating the masses, right? As we were talking about earlier. But I do think that that's that's the one thing I probably would have pulled back on that. I'd been like, maybe that's not what we do there, just because of the level of bullshit that surrounded her coming into the MCU by these sort of pathetic nerds who were just like, I don't like girls. And they were just, they just couldn't handle, her saying, hey, could we get maybe some women and women of color to do interviews instead of just white guys? Which is, I think, a perfectly reasonable thing. Like, why don't we have a diversity of interviews?
Women write these articles also, guys. Like,
they write characters. Like, what the fuck?
Right. Like, right? I don't understand what the issue is. Do you think sidebar? Do you think it's Captain Marvel, or do you think it's Brie Larson that they have a problem with?
Yes.
All right. Look, I get it.
Look,
I get your statement.
Right. I think they don't like Captain Marvel because, like, if you look in the comics, I think Captain Marvel is like a very strong-willed, especially in Civil War II. Like, they really painted her as like a real piece of shit. But it's funny because, like, people don't let that go, but somehow people let go, like, Tony's attitude in Civil War. Right? Like, the point of Civil War II was that it was another version of two people, like, bumping heads. It was the same thing. It's not any different, except for the story was much worse in Civil War II. But so I think people have that really weird thing. Like when you listen to a lot of those people talk, they don't like the fact that Captain Marvel comes in and she is already more powerful than everyone else. I'm like, well, you can't have a bunch of people who are not powerful. Like, that's how time works. The more people you bring in, the more powerful they tend to be. The first guy was in a fucking tin can. And then the first guy has no powers. Right, he has no powers, and it goes exponentially up from there. You can't introduce Captain Marvel because who cares about the guy in the robot suit? Like, right. You have to build up, right? That's how it works. Look, the only reason you got Captain America last is because that's the story, right? Like, functionally, the story has to work like that. Like, right. Otherwise, it would probably, like, if we're talking logically, it would have been Iron Man, Captain America, probably Ant-Man and the Wasp, right? Again, no powers, right? Like, all low level except for Cap, who is, peak human. And then at the end, you get Thor because he's way fucking stronger than everyone else of the original Avengers, right? You get Hulk and then you get Thor.
By the way, peak human doesn't mean superhuman.
No, it doesn't.
A lot of people, I need people to understand that also. Right? Like, peak human doesn't mean like he's lifting buildings and shit.
Right. Yo, he curled a helicopter. That's not a thing.
That's right. That's not a thing.
Like, I loved it. It was a great moment, but knock it off. Nah, he'd have ripped his shoulder right the fuck out. Like, no.
That was my only issue with Captain America in all of these movies, is that he curled a helicopter.
It was like
that's
no. It just looked awesome. Right?
It just looked awesome.
Right. And like, all of us were just like, that's fine. This is fine.
Yeah. I mean, look at those arms. Like, goddamn.
Right. You got to show it off somewhere. They didn't gonna just have him doing bicep curls in one scene. No, like.
Right. He was practicing leaving the door open for you because look at those fucking arms. Like, all right, I get it.
He didn't have calf implants. So yeah, like, so ultimately, that's my biggest issue, is that I think it's going to fuel a bunch of douchebags on YouTube, right? But all in all, like, it's a silly episode. It's kind of like, the biggest part of it was like, oh, that's clearly like Ultron in Vision's body or whatever mashup it is with the Infinity Gauntlet at the end. So that's cool. I'm sure we'll see more of that. My guess is we'll see that in the last episode.
You think we'll see that again?
Yes, I think so, because I think there was a clear image of Vision / Ultron in a trailer, I believe. So instead of a silhouetted version. So my guess is yes, you will. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. It could be bullshit.
I don't know. I used to think that these things were like in the same universe. I thought so too. But very clearly it's not. Right. So, and I think that might have just been like a one last little twist, but just to go out on.
Right.
But I don't know if we'll see that again.
The only,
but maybe we will, right? Like they have that spinning around thing in one of the trailers, the
with the Guardians
Avengers shot. Yeah, but with the Guardians this time. So maybe we will see it again.
I mean, here's the one thing that is interesting that I've seen people point out. This is not my original idea. The Watcher was shocked when he saw it.
Yeah.
When he saw it. It was like, wait, what? So maybe because they have the gauntlet, this character has a gauntlet, it can move between universes. I don't know. And it was like, surprise, nigga. Like, I'm here. Like, oh shit. So I don't know. It was curious that that the Watcher was actually surprised. So and why would he be? So it's interesting. Like, again, this episode was fine. It was fine. It's a light episode. It's not supposed to have any sort of like major heavy implications. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. All right, let's jump right down into topics this week.
So Nintendo, the video game company, for those of you that play video games.
Never heard of it. Go ahead.
They had a Nintendo Direct, and for the uninitiated, a Nintendo Direct is basically a quick presentation from Nintendo to its audience and shareholders to tell you what's coming up. Hey, this is what we got going on here at Nintendo. Come take a look for 40 minutes. Okay. I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch the Nintendo Direct yet, but I hear that a second sequel to one of my favorite games, Bayonetta, is coming out. So,
oh really?
Can't wait for Bayonetta 3.
On what system?
On the Switch.
On the Switch. Oh, Terrence still mad.
This is all Nintendo stuff. And apparently they detailed a little more information on the new Super Mario Brothers movie, or if you are from New York, Super Mario Brothers movie.
Mario. It's a me, Mario.
That's how they say it, Mario.
No.
The new movie is from Illumination, the people, the Minions people.
Ugh.
And we got a cast. So, Mario, this cast is wild, yo.
Yo, it's super crazy, yo.
Like, and I don't know if it's just because I'm so used to hearing like Mario have a very specific voice and Luigi have a very specific voice for literally decades.
Right.
But Mario is going to be played by Chris Pratt. I'm not seeing it.
Now, here's the thing. Didn't Chris Pratt play the lead in the Lego movie?
Yeah, he played the lead in the Lego movie. I could see him doing voiceover, sure.
This is my biggest issue, right? Like, full stop. We have a conundrum here. It's 2021. The Mario voice is a ridiculous racial or ethnic stereotype. It's a me, hey, paisanos, right? Like, it's ridiculous. But at the same time, it's iconic.
Right.
You can't have a guy who's like, yeah, it's me, Mario. Like, yeah, it's me, Mario from New York or whatever. Like, you can't. It's gotta be the fucking bada bing, bada boom fucking voice. It has to be.
The guy's name who does Mario, it's me, Mario. That guy, his name is Charles Martinet. And he's a voice actor known for his portrayal of Mario since the 1990s. That voice, the only other voice that comes to mind is Captain Lou Albano.
Right. I mean, look, if Pratt's gonna do that, I will accept it. But I don't think so.
Right.
Do the Mario.
I'm very curious to see what this is going to be, because I have a feeling that it's just going to be like Chris Pratt doing his Chris Pratt voice.
No, yo, I can't because, again, I get it. It's 2021, and maybe we don't want to go with the crazy offensive Italian stereotypical voice.
But I'm all about it.
But you have to, dude. Like, Remember how people felt when they saw, as I was talking to my nephew about this earlier today, and he was like, remember how people felt when they saw the Sonic the Hedgehog, like the first one, and people were like, what the fuck is this? They're like, he looks like a real hedgehog. People were like, this is garbage, and I'm not seeing it. And they changed that shit. And it was a success because they changed it. You gonna give him the Chris Pratt voice, or you gonna give him like the It's me Mario? Like, I feel like you gotta go full Italian. Like you have to.
Yeah, you gotta look. There's a new wrestler coming to one of WWE's programming, and he is a gross Italian stereotype, right? Like he's in his vignettes, he's wearing a wife beater, walking down. That's it, right? A wife beater as a shirt that you walk around outside with, right? He's got one of them Run DMC hats. He's talking about his business like this, and his family has been in waste management for their lives. Like, come on, yo! Like, what are you doing?
Is he wearing
21?
Like, if I recall correctly, there was a tag team wrestling team called the Full-Blooded Italians. They used to wear the FBI shirts, right?
FBI, yes, that's right. That's
Full-Blooded
right.
Italians.
This guy's wearing a wife beater and suspenders, yo. And
all right, come on.
Waste management. Come on, man. Like, we doing this in 2021. I want to hear that shit from Chris Pratt. It's me, Mario. Hey, forget about it.
Like, I kind of need, but I feel like Pratt is talented enough that if asked, he would do it. And I think he'd probably do okay. But at the same time, if I'm getting a Mario Brothers animated movie, why not just pick Mario, the guy who does Mario?
Yeah.
Like I can understand
the guy who does Mario is the guy who does Mario, right? Like you don't know his name, and I said it, and you don't remember.
Yeah, Steve Martinelli or whatever. I don't know. The apple juice guy. I don't know.
But you know who Chris Pratt is,
right? That's the reason why he got the gig. And I can understand it.
I get it.
But my curiosity is, are they going to do the stereotypical voice, or are they going to just try to slide by it? And I'm telling you, when that trailer comes out and it's a me Mario, people going to be like, it's a no for me. Like, people are not going to see this movie. They're not going to see it. Nerds are not going to see it if he don't sound like a fucking ridiculous stereotype.
I'm here's hoping.
I love how we're banking on a stereotypical voice. We're banking on it.
Charlie Day is going to be his brother Luigi. I feel like Charlie Day would have fun doing a weird Italian voice.
I feel like that's true.
But I don't think he will be directed to do so if Chris Pratt is not directed to do so, right?
I almost feel like Charlie Day would have been a better Mario.
Probably.
Like, because I feel like he'd get into it more.
Yeah, I think he would.
Although I want them to play Luigi as like a dick. Like I do. Like, like the grimacing Luigi during like Mario Kart. Like I want him to be like happy for his brother, but slightly jealous. Like on the sly. Like that's kind of what I want from his character. Like, son of a bitch. Like that's the way to play Luigi, in my opinion.
Anya Taylor-Joy, the woman who someone referred to as a woman of color once, because she's from Argentina, like she has roots in Argentina or something like that. So
what? Her blonde roots in her hair? What the hell are you talking about? What?
like
stop.
White people, yo. I get it, yo. I get it. Like you want to be cool and hip. I get it, right? But like, stop saying egregious shit, right? Like, you got everything, yo. You got everything. We're about to talk about the Emmys in a few seconds. You got everything, yo. Like, this woman is white, yo. Like she is, and ain't nothing wrong with it.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. She's a phenomenal actress. I am surprised that she is playing Princess Peach. I feel like something like this would be above. She would be above this.
She was in New Mutants, yo. She's not above it.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, she was Magic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she not above it. She look, frankly, she a lot below it. Like, they're one of the best shows and then one of the worst movies in like the last 5 years. That movie's a piece of garbage. Boring as shit. Jesus Christ.
Jack Black is Bowser.
I got no issues with this. I think this is the best casting, honestly.
I think so. I think so. Jack Black is playing the character who has multiple kids by multiple women and is pining over a white woman. Bowser is black.
Close enough. They were like Black. Jack Black is fine.
Keegan Michael Key as Toad. Look, I like Keegan Michael Key when he's not like trying to be funny. I think the best thing Keegan Michael Key has done that I've seen him in is Friends
from College. Absolutely. I was going to say the same thing. Yep.
When he's not trying to tell jokes, he's really funny.
Yeah, he's a naturally funny guy.
He is. But when he's like, okay, now here's where you need to be funny. Like it is too much. It's too much. I like Keegan Michael Key in doses. And I think this is going to be too much Keegan Michael Key.
I feel like the best way you could utilize him is to make Toad completely understated and then give him like crazy rants every once in a while. Right? Like he's at the right hand, like with Mario, like going through the shit, like, yeah, you know, we're going to make it. We're going to do this. And then like Mario does something stupid for like the 4th time. And he's like, yo, I told you 19 times, don't do that. Like then have him go on to like some big rant. And then what's Keegan Michael Key's like presidential translator, right?
Yeah. The anger translator.
Anger translator, right? Like have it like super subdued and then like have it slowly build and let him like do something. That would be the best use of his time. But like if you have him like full on as a comedic character the whole time, it's going to be too much. I would agree with you. So,
yeah. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, which, okay.
Look, as long as it's not a black person, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong.
Feels like a waste.
Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
And a stand-up comedian, Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike. I do know who that is. So look, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't going to watch this.
Oh, of course. Come on.
I really do want to see what they do with this. I think Illumination's animation is fine. Okay. I know who that character is. He's basically Magic Koopa. I think Illumination's animation is fine. I'm curious to see what the character designs are going to look like.
Right.
Are they going to go for not realistic, but like, are they going to stick closely to what Mario looks like, or are they going to kind of give it its own style? Or I don't know, but we'll see. We shall see.
Okay. I'm desperately wanting to know how they're planning on doing this. Like, you really not gonna do the voice? You really not gonna do? All right. I feel like that's a mistake. I feel like if you don't come with that voice, it's a mistake. Like it is. I think people are gonna be like, yo, this is just like the live action Mario. Fuck this. Like, and people are just not gonna be into it. But if you got that feel and you got that like the goofball, like, it's me, like I think people will be like, all right, they're in. But we'll see. I hope Chris Pratt nails it. I really do. He needs a win. Like, he needs a win because I feel like his career is a bit of a mess right now. Like, if he's going to have a sustaining career after Marvel, I think he's really got to get a couple of wins. And he hasn't had any in a while. It feels that way.
What's, that guy needs like a franchise. Like, he feels like a guy that should probably have a franchise and something. Well, I guess the Lego movie.
No, he needs one with his face.
He needs like a franchise.
He should look. I'll tell you that right now. They should have, and they are not going to. They should have rebooted Indiana Jones, and they should have given it to him. They should have. He would have a perfect fucking takeover. I mean, he's basically playing Space Indiana Jones now, so he's playing Han Solo. So it's like, how many Harrison Ford roles are you going to do? But that should have been his franchise. It would have been a smart move.
I am mistaken. He does have a franchise. It's the Jurassic World franchise.
No, he doesn't, because that franchise fucking stinks. It's trash. And it is it is the worst version of his acting ability. It really is. I'm like, how does he have no chemistry with what's her name?
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard. Like none. It's kind of amazing how bad their chemistry is. I don't know if like they don't like each other or just the writing is bad. It's odd because he's normally so much more charismatic and he is written so poorly in that franchise. He really is. And so is she, actually. All right, next up.
Amazon Studios has closed a 3-picture first look deal with Oscar nominee and Emmy winner Eddie Murphy. Under the deal, Murphy will star in 3 films for Amazon Studios and develop original projects for Prime Video and studios with the potential star. This news comes in the wake of Eddie Murphy's Coming to America being the most watched movie on Amazon Prime.
Wow, really? Holy shit.
You know, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, man.
Yeah, no, good for him.
Yeah.
It was fine.
I didn't hate that movie.
No, I didn't hate it.
That movie. In its opening weekend over March 5th through 7th, the streamer has anecdotally announced, though never provided any viewership figures, that it was the most, watched movie on Amazon Prime.
It's fine.
Look,
what sequels to his movies are we getting?
I mean, that's probably what it's going to be, right?
100%.
Like, sequels. Beverly Hills Cop.
I can see it.
I feel like that's a no-brainer.
Nutty Professor.
Nutty Professor. That's probably a no-brainer. What would the last one be? It's got to be something like out of left field, right? Like I feel like people remember the Golden Child, but don't really remember the Golden.
Yo, we
Child.
didn't even know that was a little girl until like 5 years ago. And yo, if you're telling me you knew that the whole time, you're a liar, yo. You're a liar, yo.
Of course not.
Nah, you thought Bobby Colwell was black until 5 minutes ago too. Stop it. Caldwell, excuse me. Yeah. Maybe you get one original one.
Maybe something original. Yeah, maybe something original.
But you're getting sequels, yo. You're getting sequels. Come on, yo. You're getting sequels.
I feel like Beverly Hills Cop is a no-brainer.
You getting another 48 hours? Nick Nolte still around?
Norbit 2? Boy, I'm looking at this filmography. It really does take a dive in the night.
Bowfinger?
Right.
Meet Dave? 1,000 words?
Would you want to see what happened
Boomerang?
with Marcus Graham?
Yeah, I do. I do.
That's a personal thing.
I do. Look, it's one of my favorite black movies of all time, yo. I love Boomerang.
Yeah, and I love Boomerang, man.
Look, know something about, if you've never listened to our show, Black on Black Cinema, know something about us. Nothing made us happier than to do that movie because every black person in that movie was doing well. I love that movie.
Yeah,
it is quintessential 90s, man. Black people were firing on all fucking cylinders in that movie. Everybody was great. I wouldn't mind that. Like Marcus Graham, because look, Halle Berry is still super fine. Like,
yeah, man.
I think she'd do it. Like, come on.
What
else she doing? That one where she's driving in a van for 2 hours screaming? One of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen. Yeah, like, I feel like, she was in John Wick. She was fucking people up in that. Like, have them married with kids. Look, because they're old enough to be married with kids, and him having, like, a player son, or maybe this time try it a different way, a player daughter. And like him having to live with that, like all the dirt he did as a single man, seeing his daughter doing, being out there. I could see that.
Man.
I'm mad that has not already been greenlit and we are not talking about that as a real movie. Cause I feel like that, like, look, you're getting up there, Eddie. Like, if you just want to do sequels to your popular movies, I'm not even mad at you, dude. You are a fucking superstar. Like, go ahead. Fucking go to the well again. Fuck that. You don't have to come up with an original idea. You old. Fuck them. You got your money.
Just give me Ring-a-Boom. If you give me Ring-a-Boom, I'll be on.
Ring-a-Boom. Boomerang 2, Booma Kawanger. That's right. The best villain in a Mega Man game. Yeah. No, I think you're getting sequels. I think you're at least getting 2 sequels. Probably 3. Because look, Amazon is giving you this deal not because they think you're on a tear and you're back, but they're like, oh, people still love Eddie Murphy's nostalgia picks, and they're gonna be like, let's go to the well again. Remember, Amazon is a company run by algorithms. Okay, like they're not stupid. They're not stupid, and there still hasn't been much of a test to see if he's truly back, right? In an original fucking story, original comedy. Like we still haven't seen that yet, right? He did.
Well, what about Dolomite Is My Name, right? Like,
yeah, that's true. That was super good. But again, that's not. He is playing someone who is already like, you know what I mean, like.
I know what you mean, but
I give him credit for it because I thought we reviewed it on Black and Black Cinema. I thought it was fucking hilarious. It was a really good movie. I want Eddie Murphy to be back, fully be back as much as anybody, but I think you're getting a lot of sequels. I do, and I'm not mad at that. Like you give me a Boomerang 2, I'm pretty happy with it. Regular boom. Like, just bring everybody back, man. Grace Jones, the whole fucking 9 yards. Like, I think it would be wonderful. All right, next up.
Look.
Did you watch the first one?
I did, because I had to keep up with the Joneses. I had to be in the zeitgeist. A Tiger King sequel is coming to Netflix as part of a new true crime lineup of documentaries to be released. Look, I watched Tiger King. I was fascinated. That's all I needed. You know,
yeah, I don't think we need a second one.
There was talk about like, a dramatized version of it. And
yeah, that's still, I think it's still happening.
As much as, is Nicolas Cage still attached to it? Because that's literally the only reason I would watch it. I think so. I think like he's the perfect choice, yo. He's the perfect choice. God damn it, Nick. What are you doing, yo?
Is this too low for Nicolas Cage?
No, it's not that.
All right,
I'm going to have to watch it, and I'm tired of giving this mediocre dude my time.
Joe Exotic, aka Joseph Allen Maldonado Passage Ne Shreve Vogel.
That's
his full name.
Yeah, I just like this thing originally started out as like a documentary about like big cats, and they struck gold.
Yeah, because he's a psychopath.
When they found this dude, and then they made it all about this dude and his feud with this woman that had her husband killed.
You don't know that.
No, I don't know it. I don't know it.
You just gotta dip them in olive oil or like fish oil, and tiger eat them. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like what?
So it's not exactly clear what the focus will be for the new season of Tiger King.
Yeah, he's in jail.
But Deadline understands that the filmmakers met with and spoke to Joe Exotic a number of times in prison.
Fine.
Look, I understand that people want to laugh at this guy because that's what they're doing, right? They're laughing at him. Like, I don't know if people are rooting for Joe Exotic. And I don't know.
No one is rooting for Joe Exotic yet. Like that's crazy.
I just I don't know. I'm not into this. I'm not into this at all.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I think it's I think it's exploitive.
Yeah.
This guy ain't bright, and you're exploiting dumb people for the entertainment of others. And I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old, and I'm in midlife, and I'm reflecting on shit, and like shit like this just ain't cool, man. Like I won't be watching it. I didn't find Joe Exotic to be an interesting enough person for me to, continue this. So yeah, look, maybe I'm on an island. I get that, but
I don't think so. I don't think you are. I'm just like, okay, It's odd. I'm just shocked that we're even talking about getting a second one. Especially he's in jail. Like, what's the point?
I can't, man.
I'm much more interested in their true crime lineup though. Because look, like here's the thing, and I don't know if people realize this. The thing with Netflix, love it or hate it, every 4 months or so, we get an absolutely bonkers documentary series, right? Where the guy's like, I don't know, I was sitting there to suck a dick, and he's just like, what? Right? Like you get that, or like the family, like that one guy was like trying to have sex with everyone in the family, and the guy was like, oh, I guess I just jerked him off. You're just like, what the fuck is going on? Like every 4 months we just get like a bonkers one that everyone starts talking about, and we're overdue. So I'm looking forward to that. Like, come on. Like, there's a lot of crazy people in the Midwest, and somebody's going to document their madness. So Netflix, get to work.
Are you looking for like murder, or are you looking for like, I'm not really like a true crime, like a murder true crime guy. I'm into like swindling people. You know what I mean?
I like a bit of both. I like the bulldozer one.
The bulldozer one was fun.
Killdozer.
I enjoyed that. That was real life falling down. Right?
Yeah, that dude was like super pissed. Like, oh, fuck me. No, fuck y'all. That was insane.
I enjoyed the one on Hulu with Ja Rule, right? Like, because that's about like bilking dummies out of money.
Yeah, that was wild. Right? The Fire Festival. Yeah.
Like, I'm into that. Premium.
But I liked, Making a Murderer. Like, that first season was super good. Like, that one was really good. I was super into that. The second season, I didn't like it. It's sad.
I couldn't get into the first season just because it reminded me of When They See Us. You know what I mean? Like, of just exploiting people who don't know any better.
I mean, that dude was super fucking definitely probably guilty. The problem was the young kid that the cops manipulated, who was clearly not neurotypical. Yeah. He was like, I just want to go home and watch WrestleMania. Yeah, I felt horrible for him. I think he's still in jail. Like, it was fucked up. It was sad. Like, that kid was not all there. He just wasn't. And those cops really took advantage of him. They should fucking get fired for that. Or worse. But no, I like a good documentary that, like, I don't mind the straight up murder ones, but I like ones that are just like super crazy. Like the one guy who was swindling people and was like sleeping with everybody in the family. That one was nuts. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
That one was wild.
People were just like, nigga, what the fuck is going on? Oh, then I'll let him. He told me he needed relief, so I just jerked him off in the car. Like, what are you doing? And then he slept with my wife. I'm like, yo, all right.
Again, the ability for people to
I'm just like, yo, others. What are you talking about?
Like, it's just fascinating to me.
Yeah, people are crazy, man. Like, people are like, super crazy.
Yeah, you need to bottle that shit.
Yeah. Or don't. Like, we don't need that in society. Like, we don't need any more of that. Like,
yeah, we got enough of it.
Yeah, we really do. So, yeah, okay. Right. I don't know why we're getting a second one, but Carol Baskin says she will not be in it. And I do think it's kind of fucked up that people were just like, nah, she definitely murdered her husband. I'm like, did she though? I don't know, man. Like, you're taking it from Joe Exotic's perspective. Like, that's crazy.
Right. You're taking it from a guy who, wanted to have that woman killed.
Right. Like, he was a lunatic. Like, he was legitimately crazy. All right, let's talk about the Emmys. You watch this nonsense.
I do.
You support no black people winning anything.
I like watching award shows with my wife. It's because we get petty and we talk about what people wear, and the Oscars are my thing. The Emmys are her thing, right? Like, my wife is a TV fan. She will watch damn near anything on television. And she's one of those people that will give something a shot, like a legit chance. If she reads the description, she's like, all right, I'm watching it. I'm committed.
I don't have that kind of time.
I do not have that kind of time. But the Emmys were this past weekend. The show was okay. It had a couple of issues outside of, black people not winning anything. the dude who won for Queen's Gambit. I think it was the director or something like that, or the writer. Outstanding directing for a limited or anthology series or movie. Scott Frank. That dude got up there, and he was up there for 5 minutes thanking people. Wow. And you get like 30 seconds, yo. You get 30 seconds. And he was being a real dickhead about it, right? Like he was telling that like they were playing the music, and he was just like, no, you're gonna turn that music off. Okay, I'm not done.
Wow.
It's like, nigga, what? So they turned the music off, they let him go. And then they kept doing it, and he was just like, no, I'm not leaving until I say what I have to say. And he had a fucking 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper.
That's obnoxious,
for his acceptance speech. It's obnoxious. He was being a real fucking asshole.
See,
and incredibly selfish.
And this is the thing that white people need to learn. You gotta hire Sandman to come out there and dance your ass off.
Yeah, you gotta get somebody.
Get your ass off the fucking stage. See, if you never watched if you never watched the Apollo, you don't know what you're talking about. Like that's how you get people on stage. Big ass hook.
I couldn't fucking believe it, yo. And then Michaela Cole came out and won for writing for I May Destroy You, which it shouldn't be I May Destroy You. It should be I Will Destroy You. Yeah. Because watching that show it hurt my soul, man. Like I couldn't get through it. Like it's incredibly well done. And it's about sexual abuse and
surviving a sexual assault,
and
right?
Surviving it. Yeah. And I'm telling you, yo, like it is the most emotion that I've ever felt. It was so much emotion that I couldn't watch it anymore.
It's on my list, but I'm
that show.
Like it's on my list, but I am so not. I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm so not looking forward to watching it for the same reason.
Yeah, man. It was it's wild, man. But she came up right after him, delivered a phenomenal speech in under 30 seconds. And it's just like, I don't know, yo. It just that is America right there, right? That dude winning an award and being obnoxious about it. This black woman winning an award, thanking everyone that needs to be thanked and delivering a message with efficiency, right? Like it just, Well, I don't know.
I feel entitled, so I get to do what I want. Versus, oh, these are the rules. All right, these are the rules.
Oh, okay. It's not even these are the rules. These are the rules that because we live in this society,
right?
And I want everyone to be able to participate,
right? Because when you take more time, you are cutting time from other people.
Exactly.
Like,
so I just fuck that guy, man. Outstanding Variety Talk Series. John Oliver won, of course.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy. Jean Smart for Hacks. I really want to watch that. Outstanding Competition Program. RuPaul's Drag Race. Outstanding Actor in a Comedy Series. Basically, Ted Lasso and The Crown won a lot of fucking awards.
I mean, are we that surprised? I mean,
no, of course not.
Ted Lasso, everyone is talking about it. Everyone seems to love Ted Lasso. I don't have Apple TV. More on that later. So I guess I'm not particularly surprised Ted Lasso did great. And I'm not surprised The Crown did great because people seem pretty fucking over the moon about The Crown. Like they really love that show. Yeah. Okay, it's fine. It's like this last few years, Downton Abbey, right? Like people like, especially Americans love like sort of British intrigue. I'm not mad at that. Like it seems well acted, so okay.
Americans are fascinated with the royals.
Yeah, right? They are.
Like they always have been, right? Because it's like, yo, they're like kings and queens.
Like for real. Why? Right.
So, look, the Emmys have weird like categories and subcategories and stuff like that. Just know that The Crown, Ted Lasso, Queen's Gambit, Hacks, those were the really, really big winners.
Outstanding lead actress in a limited series, Kate Winslet for Mayor of
Kate
Easttown.
Winslet.
Absolutely.
And what's his name? Evan Peters.
Yeah, he won
for supporting actor. I'm a little surprised by that.
I'm a little surprised about him winning. I'm not surprised by Kate Winslet winning at all. At all. No. Compared, now, I've seen a little bit of Queen's Gambit, and I thought Anya Taylor-Joy was good. I haven't seen I May Destroy You. I've definitely seen WandaVision, and I haven't seen Genius Aretha with Cynthia Erivo. But yeah, that seemed like a pretty obvious choice to me. It was either going to Kate Winslet or Michaela Cole. Like, that was it. I'm not shocked by that.
So, I say all that just to, let everybody know that like those shows are the ones that really did well.
Ted Lasso, which takes place in Europe. Yes.
Yeah, it takes place in London.
The Crown, which takes place in Europe. Yes.
Yeah, it's about, the British royals.
Yes. And what were the other shows?
Hacks did well in comedy series
about an old white woman and a young white woman. Yes.
And Queen's Gambit.
And Queen's Gambit about white people playing chess, right?
Yes.
Interesting.
And Mayor of Easttown, which is about poor white people.
Yes. Interesting. So you want to move on to the next topic, or find out why it was so white this year?
You may notice a bit of a trend.
Ain't nothing happening in fucking Wakanda. Like, get out of here.
A lot of white people winning awards, and some people are very, very upset by it. Look, I'm rooting for everybody black also, but I also understand that this was a murderer's row of programs this year.
It really is.
It just really, like, television is at an all-time high.
It is.
With the technology that we have, with the ability for people to stream and get these television shows directly to them, with the budgets that these television shows are getting. These television shows are long-form movies broken up into chapters.
Yo, WandaVision had a $200 million budget.
Right.
What the fuck?
Right.
Come on, man.
And we're getting these like limited series like that. That's all these limited series are. They're long form movies broken up into chapters that you have to watch week to week.
By the way, just a side note before you go into the rest of your point, which I think you and I have talked about this offline. I think it's 100. I agree with you 100%. I love a good HBO limited series. God damn it, I do, man. They're so good. They're so good. They're so good.
Great.
They're good, man. Mayor of Easttown. If Mayor of Easttown was a movie, everyone would be fucking clamoring for it as well. Like, it's just such a good fucking story. It is.
Yeah. And you can tell better stories because you have the length to tell them.
Yep, absolutely.
The TV has found it, right?
Like, they figured it out.
TV is firing on all cylinders. And so it's very, very difficult for something like Lovecraft Country to compete against all of these other shows. Lovecraft Country, a phenomenal television series.
Yeah, it is.
Michael K. Williams should have won Best Supporting Actor in a Drama Series, and not because he passed away.
No, he was amazing on that series, dude.
He was amazing. He was like, I was crying. I was crying during certain scenes that he was in, especially when he was talking with his son. Yeah, it hit me,
right?
And I loved it. He should have won that award. At the same time, we can't just give black people awards just because they're black. No, and I'm not saying that people are doing it. I feel like people think that just because they watched one show, because they watched
nothing else
show didn't watch anything else, that this show should have won everything. Look, and I get it. People are mad because that show is not getting a second season for no reason. right? There's
that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
That's, and people are pissed, right?
Yeah.
I get it. I'm pissed too. I would love a second season of that show.
Yeah.
But I sometimes it's just not our year. This is not a Green Book scenario.
No, it's not.
Green Book won when clearly it was a lesser movie than the other ones that were nominated. Right? This is not that.
Agree to disagree, Micah. Agree to disagree.
This is the cream rising to the top. And look, I'm not saying that people didn't.
The cream rising to the top. What color's cream, Micah? I see. Go ahead and defend it. Listen to this guy, guys. Don't forget. Every week, right. Every week, fucking that guy TC is like, Micah's the greatest. Yeah, listen to him. Cream rises at the top, black people at the bottom. See, he don't care.
Yeah. It's like getting a frappuccino or whatever. All the brown stuff that really makes the thing is at the bottom.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
all the sweet, all the superfluous shit is white and at the top.
Yeah, all the fattening, terrible things for you. The worst parts of society. This is like Umar Johnson giving a talk about Starbucks.
Look, I'm not saying that Lovecraft Country got a fair shake. It probably didn't.
It definitely didn't.
It probably didn't. But at the same time, like sometimes it's just not our year.
Look, I mean, this is the point of this is not our year is a hard pill to swallow, right? Because there were, like Billy Porter not being nominated and not winning when this was his last his last run on Pose, right? Where he gave a performance. From what I hear, I'm not caught up on Pose, but his character died, and it was like a pretty profound, performance. I don't doubt that. Like, I thought he was great in the first two seasons.
From what I understand, MJ Rodriguez is phenomenal in Pose.
Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah. I haven't watched Pose, but
that feels like by the way, that feels like an error, right? Like, not her being nominated, but that feels like if it was the Oscars, because Oscars is way more political than the Emmys are. They would have given it to her. The first trans actress to be nominated. No way, dude. They're not going to miss that opportunity. They'd be like, no, I don't give a fuck what else is running against it. Like, they would have given it to her, right? So that's, I guess, a good thing and a bad thing, right? Like, because people should be nominated and win based on their talent. And by the way, I don't think MJ Rodriguez didn't deserve that nomination, or Billy Porter didn't deserve that nomination. But like you said, it's kind of a murderer's row. Like, the category that Billy Porter was in, Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series, Josh O'Connor won for The Crown, but like, look at the other people he's up against who were nominated, who didn't win. Sterling K. Brown for This Is Us. Sterling K. Brown brings 500% every time, right? He's won before anyway, for This Is Us, I believe. Jonathan Majors for Lovecraft Country. All right, this one's a little ridiculous. Reggae Jean.
You got to tell me.
Reggae Jean Page from Bridgerton. No, he shouldn't be on there. The dude's just handsome. Like, I get it, but he's just handsome. Like, he was fine. Like, he wasn't bad or anything. It's just like, it's not an Emmy worthy role. But then Matthew Rhys from Perry Mason. Like, any of those guys minus the Bridgerton guy, is reasonable to me. That could have beaten Billy Porter. It's not because Billy Porter got screwed, right? Like, if you only watch Pose and you didn't watch Perry Mason or Lovecraft Country or This Is Us or The Crown, it's a little unfair to be like they screwed us. Like, you're just saying that because that's the show you watched, right? Like, it happens at Oscar time too. Like, you watch one of the 5 movies that get nominated and you're like, that's the one that should have won. Right. Like, come on. We have to stop being so silly. But I don't necessarily think that this is a Emmy so white situation. I think it's like you said, TV is firing at all cylinders, man. Like, 5 years ago, or maybe 10 years ago, if Lovecraft Country came out, it might very well have dominated, but it's also running up against a lot of really powerful fucking shows too. None of the shows that won didn't deserve it. Like, yeah, everybody is doing really well right now. And TV, like you said, is just kicking ass. Like, it just is. It just is.
Yeah. Look, again, I'm not there was a lot of us nominated. There was a lot of diversity in the nominations.
That's great.
But it's as someone who watches these things, I guess I'm not I don't know if I'm just used to it or I watch a lot of these shows, like I understand how good some of these things are. What frustrates me is people who don't watch award shows or always say they don't care about award shows, but all of a sudden they care when
they get really mad.
Right, like they get real mad.
Right.
And it's like, but I thought you didn't care, right? Like I see people making like incredibly long Facebook posts about, we're just going to keep doing our own thing. And this is why I don't watch. And this is why,
then why do you care?
And I don't really care. Why are you making a post about it?
Like you seem to care a lot.
You seem to care a lot. Like, just say you care. Just say you care.
Right. Not caring is like the cool thing.
Yeah, well, look, I've never been cool, man. And
it's okay to care about.
I do like this shit, and it is okay to care about this stuff because getting recognized by stuff like this gets people more work.
Yes, it does. Right, and this is getting an award at the top of your field. Like,
yeah, man,
there's nothing wrong with giving a shit about that. There's a white person award. No, it's not. This is an award for people who are actors and writers. Like, look. How I know people don't really watch these shows and are commenting that it's so white is because nobody brings up Michaela Cole winning. Nobody
exactly.
They didn't watch her show. Here's a black woman, a very black woman who doesn't have European features, who is unabashedly black. You didn't watch her show.
And hyper talented.
Right.
I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Like,
right.
She can do it all.
Netflix offered her $1 million for that script, but they were like, you don't retain the rights to it. She was like, nah, I'm good.
And she knows her worth. Come on, man.
Right. These are the people you talk about that you're supposed to support. Right. So like, I haven't watched the show, but I'm also like, it's not for lack of wanting to watch the show. People probably never even heard of it, but you know what I mean? It's like, if you care about this and you're saying how much, we should be winning and stuff like that. Well, here's a black woman who did win. But I didn't see anybody, because when I saw it was like Michaela Cole win, I was like, then why the fuck are people saying no black people won? I was like, Michaela Cole is very black. Like, she did win. Did we get as many wins as maybe we wanted to? No. But like every year there are people who are disappointed that they didn't win. Every year. They had a skit about it. They had a skit about it. It was like Emmy Winners Anonymous, right? And Cedric the Entertainer, who did an okay job being MC. There was a skit where it was just a bunch of actors who just never won an Emmy, and they were all white. Jason Alexander was there. Yeah, that's bullshit. Like, he definitely should have won an Emmy 7 years in a row. Jesus, George Costanza, and never won. Nah, see, that's fucked up. Because he definitely should have won at some point. That's just wild to me, man. That's just wild to me. But look, I understand. I really do. And all people are going to hear is me saying that you niggas didn't deserve it. Yep. No, that's the name of this episode. Incidentally. But I'm just saying you gotta support. Yeah, you have to. You gotta support too, man. And look, all of this shit is political, right? Like, I'm not naive. All of this stuff is political and all that, but it's not a fucking conspiracy, is what I'm saying. It's not a conspiracy. Yeah, that's the problem. Is a lot of people think it's a conspiracy. Like, oh, the niggers love Lovecraft Country? Absolutely not. Like, nah, yo. Like, Perry Mason. Did Perry Mason win anything? I don't think so. Right. Like, yo, that show is excellent. Like, it is. It's super good. And everyone in it is really good. It didn't win. It didn't win anything. It is white as fuck. Like, John Lithgow is on that show. It's very white. Yeah. But it didn't win. It's okay. Look, sometimes fucking This Is Us wins a ton of awards and other times it don't. It is what it is. So, yeah, I think this is more of just we are seeing we're just seeing way too much crazy talent on TV. Now, I do have a question though. What is your marker for when this started? Like television getting to this level of quality. What's the show in your mind that like set the bar and then like they just kind of ran with it?
I think it's when movie stars started doing television.
Like any particular show?
I think it's before Breaking Bad, but that's the only one that comes to mind right now.
I think Breaking Bad is definitely a milestone. I don't think, for me, it's not the one though.
I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm looking up prestige television.
I think it's The Sopranos. I think The Sopranos was it. I think it was
it. I see that and I agree with it, but did it slowly get the ball rolling, or was it like, oh, this is out, let's keep going, right? Let's keep doing this.
I think Sopranos, I think you wouldn't get a Breaking Bad without a Sopranos, right? Like I think Sopranos was the first show in the like sort of in the modern era that was, because this is what I think this is the real marker is unconventional heroes, right? Like that's what makes them, that's what makes it, right? Like Tony Soprano is a villain. Like he's a complete villain. He cheats on his wife. He's a kind of a piece of shit dad. He's a gangster. Like he has his friends killed. Like he's a terrible fucking guy, but he also goes to therapy, right? And he's this like complex character. And I think he was the start of these sort of complex, non-traditional hero type characters to focus on. And then when people got like super into that, then you got Breaking Bad, where it's like, he's a villain, right? Like he's a villain. He sells drugs and, which kills kids and families and shit like that. But you're so inundated with his story that you're down the fucking rabbit hole. And I think once you got that, it just like the ball got rolling on all this other very complex lead character television.
Yeah, it's like his story was tragic, right? Like
it is.
It was, and everyone loves a tragedy, right? Like it's classic storytelling,
right?
More on that later, but I think Sopranos might be it. And when does Sopranos come out? Like the late 90s or something like that? Late
90s, yeah. Because it feels like in the modern era, that felt like the first show. Like everyone was like, "Holy shit, have you seen this show?" Like that felt like how you talk about appointment television. Like it felt like Sunday nights at 9. Everyone was like, "The world stops. Sopranos is on." Like that's what it felt like. And we got that, and then we got Breaking Bad, and then like Game of Thrones, and then like it was just like boom, boom, boom. Like, and you got all of these other complex shows. And I think it's the complexity of the lead that actually makes it interesting. Cause I'm thinking about all of these shows that are super popular, right? Like Ted Lasso is the only show I can think of in recent history that is just like a goody good lead. And I think that, I think the world kind of needs that a little bit too, right? Cause things feel dismal.
The world needed it when that first season dropped.
Yeah.
That's why Ted Lasso became so popular. And then the second season, it's a lot darker underneath the surface, right? The brighter the picture, the darker the negative. Right. We're exploring the negative in the second season.
Right. And I think, but that's what I'm saying. Like the idea that we've had these like very fucking dark heroes, so to speak, or protagonists, is interesting, right? Like there's a book called, Hollywood 9/11, that I read, which is all about like how like after 9/11, everybody was so scared and terrified of the world that beget the rise of superhero movies and all of this like kind of stuff. And I think that there's part of like wanting to see villains be less black and white. I think is also a part of that, right? Like, so it's just like human nature to want to see more complex things, over time. But I love it. Like, give me more of it. Like even Mayor of Easttown, like how that ends is complex, right? Like it's just super fucking complex. And like these stories work because of that. So yeah, I think it's Sopranos. But I'd be interested. That's a good question to throw out to people. I'd be interested to hear what other people think is what was the show that started that. So we're going with Breaking Bad or Sopranos.
What was the show that started that for you personally?
For you personally, right? Like not. Yeah, there's no definitive answer. All right. Next up, Universal rom-com Bros sets an all LGBTQ plus cast featuring Billy Eichner. Universal Pictures has said Billy Eichner. If you don't know who he is, I'm going to play a clip of Billy Eichner in a second. Yo, Billy Eichner is fucking hilarious to me. Billy Eichner, Luke McFarlane, T.S. Madison, who is trans, Miss Lawrence, Simone, Guillermo Diaz, and Guy Branum to star in Bros, which will make history as the first romantic comedy from a major studio about two gay men and the first studio film featuring an entirely LGBTQ plus principal cast, with queer actors taking on queer roles as well as heterosexual characters. That's interesting. Nicholas Stoller, who directed Forgetting Sarah Marshall, is directing the film, which he co-wrote with Billy Eichner. Look, I love this. Like, finally, it's 2021 and we've never had a principal all gay cast.
You were talking about
amazing.
You were talking about like not catering to what other countries think.
This
like,
is it.
This is it. Right?
No, this is not being shown in China. You can forget it. Whatever this makes here is what it makes here.
And I've always, said that if you're going to have a gay character or make a big deal about a character being gay, then let that character have an on-screen kiss with another person.
Yes,
particularly men.
Right. Well, dudes are like, yeah, chicks, bro. Like, right. No, it's got to be dudes. It's got to be dudes.
Yeah, it's got to be men because that makes insecure straight men feel uncomfortable.
Yep.
And you need to see stuff like that in order to normalize it. Look, before you weirdos on YouTube are like jump down my throat. Yo, I'm not saying show people kissing to your children, straight or gay.
No, but they're cool with women kissing men in front of their kids. It's hypocritical. It's just hypocritical. Right. It's nonsense. Right. No, here's the thing. Grow the fuck up. Just talk to your kids.
Right. Like, just, right. Like, so just calm down. But in order to normalize this stuff, you got to see it in our television shows.
You do.
Like that.
You do. Look, I have a ton of books that my daughter has, or I don't have them. She has them. She has a ton of kids' books that there's one like Love Makes a Family or something like that. First page, it's like, it's a couple, two dads and their kids. And then like there's another book we have, which is just hilariously titled The Gay BCs. I just think it's funny. But it goes through the entire alphabet of like, A is for ally, B is for bi. Like, yeah, we just normalize it for her. She doesn't go, how do I understand this? Yeah, she's a kid. She's like, all right, there can be two dads or there can be two moms. Okay. Like she doesn't give a shit. Kids don't care. You just tell them and they're just like, that's fine. Like if you're worried about how they're going to take it, it's because you're a bigot. Right? Like that's it. She's not like, I'm going to, she's not concerned about it. Like she's not like, why don't I have two dads? She's just like, oh, that's two dads. Got it. It's a different scenario. Right? She realizes two other people can be married. Like what's the fucking difference? So no, I think this is great. I will see this because I want to support it. Whether it looks good or not, I will support it anyway because I think it's important.
I'll see it because Billy Eichner.
Billy Eichner's hilarious.
Hilarious.
He's such an asshole. He's such an asshole. So speaking of Billy Eichner, have you ever watched any clips from Billy on the Street? Like,
no.
So he has this show. This is how he got started, where he just has a microphone and a cameraman, and he just goes up to people in New York and just like ask them questions. He's like, for $1, tell me like something, right? And just surprises them. One of the funniest fucking things of all time is Billy Eichner going up to this woman, and asking her a very simple question. I'm going to play this clip because it's fucking hysterical. And this is not cut up. This is all that happens in like 28 seconds, I think.
Oh, God. Miss, for $1, name a woman.
Name a woman?
Yeah. Who?
Who?
No, name a woman.
Name a woman?
Yeah. Yoga bag, name a woman.
Sorry.
No, name a woman.
Name a woman?
Yes, go.
Any?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
This is so hard.
Name a woman. Name a woman. Name a woman. No. Sir,
Yo, he was gonna pay her $1. She fucking freaked out. I don't know. Like, but he does Billy on the Street with like a bunch of celebrities. Like, I saw one today when I saw the story. I was watching a couple of clips. Like, he did one with like Chris Evans and Emma Stone. Like, everybody likes Billy Eichner. He's fucking hilarious. Like, he's a funny dude. I'm all in for this.
My wife was watching old episodes of a show called Difficult People.
Oh, yo, he's an asshole on that show.
Yo, I love it.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit. I watched a couple episodes of that show. I was like, yo, I want to punch Billy Eichner in the face. Yo, he's a dick. It's on Hulu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, that show is wild. He is an asshole. But he's funny. Like, so I love that he's starring in this. That makes me proud as a moviegoer to see that kind of stuff make it into the mainstream, because it should. It's long overdue. And like to hear like this is the first major studio to do it in 2021. Yeah. Like, come on, man! Like, get on it. So yeah, it's a rom-com. So yeah, I'm gonna see it. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna see it because I definitely support Billy Eichner, and I support this. Like, again, just normalize the shit. It's not that hard. Next up, DC is doing a documentary series that's going to be directed by Greg Berlanti, who is the master of DC at this point. This will be coming to HBO Max, and I'm saying all of this to waste time because the link is not opening. So I guess I'll come back to that story.
The streamer has ordered a 3-part series that will delve into the storied history of DC, promising to, quote, allow fans to rediscover the universe of characters as well as the iconic comic book company's origins, its evolution, and nearly 9-decade cultural impact across every artistic medium, end quote.
So Marvel 616, the show? Isn't that what that show did?
I think... I think Marvel's 616 goes into different aspects of Marvel and its fandom, whereas I think this will be a straight documentary style historical look.
That's fine. I'll watch it.
DC, which I'm actually very into this. DC has a rich legacy of over 80 years of iconic storytelling, from the introduction of the genre-defining superhero Superman in 1938 to amazing movies, television shows, cartoons, games, and comics, which have been
amazing movies. Okay,
which have been synonymous with superheroism for generations thereafter. Quotes Jim Lee.
That guy's biased. What does he know?
DC has created some of the most meaningful, culturally significant comic book characters that have defined a generation and truly impacted people's lives, says Jennifer O'Connell, Executive VP, Nonfiction and Live Action Family at HBO Max. We're thrilled to take fans behind the scenes and give them a never-before-seen look into the company and creators of this iconic universe. Yeah, I'm into this. I want to see this. The docuseries is the second such project for Berlanti Productions and HBO Max. The company was also behind Equal, which profiled early leaders and activists in the LGBTQ plus movement.
Right.
So yeah, I'm into this. Look, I like a good documentary as much as the next person. And when you do a documentary on stuff that I like, in particular, then yeah, I will check this out.
Yep, that's fine by me. All right. I love this next story. The Wire creator David Simon axes Texas filming of his new HBO project over abortion ban law. Look, if you don't know David Simon, you need to follow David Simon on Twitter, because David Simon gives zero fucks. He goes by AO Despair on Twitter. Let me read a couple of his tweets. They are brutal. Says, if an employer, this is beyond politics. I'm turning in scripts next month on an HBO nonfiction miniseries based on events in Texas, but I can't and won't ask female cast crew to forego civil liberties to film there. What else looks like Dallas / Fort Worth? Then he goes on to say, he gets a response from like the Texas like film industry or something. And he goes, you misunderstood completely. My response is not rooted in any debate about political efficacy or the utility of any boycott. My singular responsibility is to securing and maintaining the civil liberties of all those we employ during the course of production. Then he goes on, then he starts getting pissed. He says Honolulu would work, but for the palm trees, shoreline and absence of square-headed, all-hat, no-cattle shit posters trying to use hack politicians to crawl into every last womb they can. Maybe Tulsa. Then he says, I don't work for Apple, but for Time Warner, which no doubt has a variety of soulless corporate moments we could use to shout squirrel and avoid attending to an insane overreach in Texas, or the fact that life, innocent or not, is not viable for longer than 6 weeks.
I'm reading some of the responses to some of these. Like you gotta give the quote tweet that he's responding to, right?
Yeah, it's
like,
not loading properly. That's the problem.
So there's one guy who's like, nobody cares for Hollywood's opinion.
Yeah.
David Simon responds, especially when Baltimore says, go fuck yourself. On the other hand, grab a tool and get at it, fuck nuts. Jesus Christ.
Yo, David Simon doesn't give a fuck, yo. He really doesn't. Like, he was like, yo, I wrote The Wire. Knock it off. I'm going to say whatever I want. He even says the riot. This is probably the meanest one he wrote. The Wire is written, structured, and themed for sentient, coherent adult viewers that can distinguish between a non-viable fetus and a living infant, and would not dare venture near the internet to opine on matters until they have mastered such basics. Try Mannix reruns. Like, god damn. Like, why are you throwing Mannix under the bus? Jesus Christ. No, yo, look, David Simon is an asshole. Many people have said David Simon is an asshole. And as Brian in our fan group pointed out, he is an asshole for good. Like, he is.
Yeah, man, we need someone on our side, man.
No, we do.
Jesus Christ.
And you know my favorite thing about David Simon? David Simon and I share one philosophy in common, which makes us best friends. He just doesn't know it. David Simon hates libertarians. Like, he thinks libertarians are the dumbest people on the planet. I'm like, I can understand where you're coming from. I too also think they're a bunch of 13-year-olds. But yeah, he's like, oh, you're a libertarian? Yeah. Allow me to go on a scree about how fucking stupid you are. Like, no, he's amazing. I love reading his tweets. They're absolutely fantastic. So, that's a good follow. It's a very good follow. But look, he's got a fair point. I think, folks in Hollywood, look, if you don't support the abortion ban, don't put your projects in Texas. It's not that hard. Make them hurt where it counts. Look, Georgia tried that shit and people were like, really? And Hollywood was like, you sure about that? We shoot a lot of shit in Atlanta. And they were like, okay. Yeah, they'll back off. Because then, look, all this shit don't mean nothing when that money stops flowing. That's the reality of it. Like, yeah, you can hit them in the wallet. It hurts a lot. All right, let's
Jesus Christ, Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. He is a great follow. Someone replies to David Simon, I will be boycotting HBO and any other broadcast that feels they have to boycott any state that passes laws that protects all human rights. Not just women, but babies as well. I guess David Simon believes in murdering children, and that human life isn't important to him. David Simon replies,
he quote retweeted, which is even worse. He putting your shit all the way on blast.
Yeah, that's how I'm able to do this. So he quote tweeted and said, I believe in a woman's right to abort an embryo or fetus should that be her personal choice. For killing kids, I have to first insist that children be in season and that proper game and fish licenses are obtained. Now fuck right off with your shit posting rhetoric, daddy.
God damn. By the way, the guy goes by Daddy Curtis, which is why he called him daddy. That's a good follow, man. I'm telling you, David Simon is awesome. He's an asshole. Like, yo, don't write bullshit to him. Like, just don't. Yeah, don't, yo.
Yeah, this is funny, yo. If I used my Twitter, I would actually.
What's your handle again?
I forget. I honestly forget. I think it's Dense Black Nerd. Because I wanted to get something that had all three of the podcast names in it.
You fucking dork.
Well, hey, I'm a team player, man. I'm.
You never told us your name. You refused to tell us.
Oh, look, you can have it now. I'm not gonna check it. I don't even know if
that's not even your name. You're fucking lying.
Dense Black Nerd. It is.
No, it's not. Nerd. I searched. I found nothing. No recent tweets. You're a liar.
Of course, no recent tweets. I haven't fucking used it.
Nah,
I'm squatting on the name.
Nah, you're lying. You're lying. It's probably Dr. Doom's, chugging Latverian cock or whatever your username would be.
There you go. Dense Black Nerd.
Interesting.
There it is.
One following.
One follow.
Yeah. Who's following you? Is it your wife?
No, God, no. She doesn't have a Twitter. Thank God. I don't know who the fuck is following me.
It's a bot. It's David Simon.
Probably is. Doesn't the Twitter guy Jack follow you when you first make an account?
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
You're one friend. You're one friend. All right. What the fuck brought to you by JTD?
JTD, chef du jour, and
calf implant wear,
and face for all of Alabama.
That's you.
A Yakuza boss is sentenced to death after a botched penis enlargement surgery. I guess you know where this is now. This Yakuza boss was charged with organizing a hit against a nurse, as well as 4 other violent crimes he's connected to. The guy is receiving such a harsh sentence, according to the prosecution, because none of the other 4 rival gangs were involved. He's receiving the death penalty in Japan. Back in 2012, apparently they don't kill people over there. Back in 2012, Nomura, this guy's name is Satsuro Nomura. Nomura underwent surgery to enlarge his penis, as well as remove any hair in the region. I thought all Asian people were hairless.
Like cats.
Shows what I know.
Like a hairless cat.
He was reportedly very dissatisfied with the results of the operation.
Yeah, that's wild. That's a wild statement. Very dissatisfied. I bet he was.
Though the exact reasons remain unclear.
I bet I can guess. As unclear as a pixelated sex scene from a Japanese porn.
During post-operation care, the nurse who was the victim of the attempted hit allegedly disrespected him by treating him like any other patient, as going as far as teasing him about how the discomfort from the surgery could not, quote, possibly hurt as much as getting one of those Yakuza tattoos. As a result, Nomura ordered a hit.
Yo, he was fucking salty. Yo. He's like, nah, fuck you, lady.
Don't you see my dick? Like, look what they did to it.
It wasn't a lot there to begin with.
God damn it. As a result, Nomura ordered this other person to stab the nurse to exact revenge. on January 28th,
Bro, come on.
2013. Footage shows the person stabbing the unnamed nurse in the head,
Jesus!
chest on her way home, but she survived the attack. Good God. According to his defense,
Come on, dude.
the guy who's the stabber denied intent to kill the nurse. I don't know how you do that.
I wasn't trying to kill her. Where'd you stab her? In the head. In the head? Through the skull?
He denies his intent to kill, as well as Nomura's connection to the attack. Yo, this dude must be fucking legit if this dude tries to stab a woman in the head and is like, but no, I did it on my own accord.
Yeah, I'd be like, nah, your tiny dick did it. Like, knock it off.
Right. Get the fuck out of here. So this year, August 24th of this year, the judge ruled that Nomura was guilty of all charges against him and sentenced him to the death penalty. Displeased with the ruling, Nomura threatened the judge by saying, I ask you for a fair judgment, but this is not fair at all. You will regret this for the rest of your life.
He's like, not if I see you first. You got like 10 days left, dog. Knock it off.
Yeah, bro. Come on, man.
That's, I mean, I guess the true question after all of this, like, this would have been a great Netflix true crime story. Any scenario that you're getting penis enlargement surgery. Any scenario.
No, I will work with whatever I've got, man.
Micro penis. You're not.
That has to be a myth, right?
It's not a myth, dude.
I've never seen a micro penis before.
Look, all I know is that the only people who here's what I know about micro penis is that it clearly is very real. That because you don't have a large normal sized penis, you're able to run a full marathon. So, welcome back, Cam.
Oh shit.
I can't. I get thrown off. Just equilibrium gets thrown off. No,
yeah,
but
you fuck up your hips.
Right? Yeah, you can't just everything's swinging around. Get out of here. No, that's. I assume it is real. Women have said it's real.
I'm Googling it in incognito mode.
Yeah, you don't really need that forever in your browser.
Yeah, I really don't. Oh wow, it is a real thing.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Wow. Damn.
I feel like you got it. Your tongue game got to be crazy. You got to know what you're doing.
You got to do something, yo. Nah. You got to do something. This dude looks like one of those Greek statues. It's not. Damn. All right. I got it.
That's depressing.
Yeah, man. God damn, yo. I'm not a shower. I'm a grower, not a shower. But Jesus Christ, yo. This is.
They're not anything. Sad, they're not anything.
Yeah, they ain't nothing. They might be. You know what? I'm not gonna say it.
It's just sad. No, look.
They might be hermaphrodites. Look, I don't. I feel bad for those dudes. I don't feel bad for this dude. No,
I don't feel bad for the big boss man at all.
No, yo, you deserve to die, yo.
You're trying to kill a woman.
To have a nurse killed, yo.
I mean, he was very sensitive about his shit. He had a micro penis, clearly, right? She was like, it's not that bad, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna murder you though. No, you gotta die. Yeah. You saw my penis, you have to die.
Up, yo. Yeah, but he had 1 pixel there.
Oh, they have to use too many pixels on the blur out. Just 1 square. Don't worry about it. We'll save money on the CGI budget for this. It's fucked up. Sad. Yeah, Cam, try not to put a hit out on an innocent woman. It's just ridiculous. Control yourself. Here's an update to a earlier story. JTD had the luxury of sending me. Thanks a lot, you asshole. MMA fighter, in quotes, who injected petroleum jelly in his arms to have them removed following death concerns. A lot of people don't know this. Charlie, who listens to the show, this is a thing he's been doing. He'll deny it, but But yeah, this guy, you can watch a video of this guy fighting, where he's got the jelly arms. He's had Vaseline put in his arms. But now if he doesn't get it taken out, he's gonna fucking die. Just work out, dude. Just work out.
Yeah, I feel like it's easier to just kind of, but you don't get the results like in a couple of hours.
Get on steroids. Just get on steroids. If you're willing to put Vaseline in your arm, just get on roids. They work. Like, hello, like, just get on drugs. Just get on drugs. Kirill Tereshin, 25, has already had fake triceps removed, and now will go under the knife to take out his dangerous injections. 6 liters of petroleum jelly have been injected into his body, and they have now saturated his muscles and penetrated his skin, blocking blood flow and causing fevers and pain. He got the procedure done when he was 20, which he admits now was foolish. Really. Quote, soon I will have a very complicated, hard third surgery. I don't know how it'll end up. I bulked my arms up when I was 20 due to my own stupidity. I did not think about the consequences. You didn't realize that putting Vaseline under your skin might do damage? Wow. This guy's in Russia. Like, this isn't hard to take a guess.
Yeah, of course.
The risk of complications in this case is very high, but inaction will not help the patient, says his Dr. Dmitry Melnikov. A toxic substance in the body long-term can complicate the kidneys and lead to death. Yeah, dude. Like, this guy got fake implants, but now you got to do all this work to try to build back all that muscle, because your arms are probably damn near atrophied. When you could have just done steroids. Just do steroids. I don't understand it. You got the money for the Vaseline, just do steroids. Like, it's Russia, it's lawless anyway over there.
I can't think of like you couldn't possibly think that looked good, right? Like, we're looking at pictures.
Yo, he looks insane.
And it doesn't like anyone with a brain knows that something has been done. Like, if you're going to do this, like, why go overboard to do it?
Because it's an addiction.
Wow, man.
And it doesn't make you stronger, right? Like, you can still get your ass straight up whipped in a fight, right? Like, it's not like if you're on steroids or something like that and you're building muscle, like, that's real muscle, right? You're on drugs, but it's real muscle. So, like, if you hit somebody and you're big, like, all right, you might win that fight. Not jelly arms.
Yeah, yo, that's like putting on one of them, like, sumo suits. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, oh, I'm ripped. No, but you're not.
Right. Like, I got the weight I need now. Like, nah, yo, you're not. Wow. That doesn't.
I believe it was him that I saw in one of those slap contests. Like, you know, Russia has those like slapathons, right? It's like a big guy versus a little guy. I believe he was one of them. And I'm like, why? Your arms are fake. Like, it doesn't give you added strength. He smacked this big dude, and then the big dude was like, oh, bet? Yeah, I'm really big for real. And he smacked the shit out of him and knocked him out. Like, yeah. What are you doing? I can't just do drugs.
He can't fight either, yo.
No, he can't.
Looking at the video, he's just he's
just hoping he can hit you with a jelly arm. It's like he can't fight because he can't raise his arms well because he doesn't have any actual muscle strength. Russia is a wild place.
Is that a vape pen in his hand too? Like, yo, you fucking all the way up, man.
Yeah.
With your Louis Vuitton sneakers.
Them bitches are fucking fake.
With your Louis Vuitton sneakers.
Yo, white people are weird.
Russian people, yo, I can't imagine going to Russia.
Because there's nothing going on there. There's like, I don't know, yo, just give me some Vaseline, I guess. Like, they got nothing going on.
I can't wait to start traveling again. Russia, anywhere over there is not on my list.
No, not anymore.
Of places to go.
I wanted to go to Russia because I just wanted to see like what it's like. And then I saw all those dash cam videos. I was like, I'm good. Like, I don't need to go. I got it.
Nah, I'm good.
Trailers this week. Hit Monkey. This is the Hulu show. This is animated. I find myself not caring.
Do you find yourself not caring because it's on Hulu, or do you find yourself not caring because of the character, or what is it?
I find myself not caring because it's not connected to anything. It looks fine, and I probably am not going to watch it.
Did you watch MODOK?
I stopped watching MODOK after like 2 episodes.
I tried watching MODOK. I just don't. I just didn't care.
Same for me. Like, I think that's what I'm gonna get here.
Yeah, I don't care about this. This isn't for me, and I think I'm aging out of stuff like this. Right? Like
Yep.
This feels like something that should be much like MODOK. It feels like something that should be on Adult Swim. And,
Yes.
And I'm just aging out of it.
Yeah.
And I like cartoons. I really do, but yeah, I this feels like stoner comedy to me, and I'm not really into it.
Yep. I agree with you 100%. Season 3 for Netflix show You. Look, all in. These are my favorite psychos. These two problematic white people. I love them.
So he got married?
Yeah.
He got married, and he got married to another crazy person?
Turns out he didn't know that she was crazy when he started getting obsessed with her. And then shit went left, and it was like, her name is Love. She's great. She's a great character. Yeah. I'm here for it because I think this is going to be good. Look, I love this show. Like, again, I just don't understand how you've not gotten into this. Like, you and your wife would love it. Like, it's so good, man. It's so crazy.
I think she watched all the first season, and I think the majority of, if not all of, the second season. I don't know what it is. I think it's because this dude looks like Glenn Howerton.
He does.
But he's not Glenn Howerton. So now all I'm thinking is like, this guy is just a Dennis Reynolds imposter. And I take that personally.
Okay, you know what? That's a good way to think about it. Here's a better way to think about it. This show is when Dennis is like when they're in the tackle bait store or whatever, and he's like, the implication, that whole thing. If the show then pivoted to showing him performing that act and not just talking about it, that's all this show is. It's Dennis Reynolds when you don't see him on Always Sunny. Like, where's Dennis? This is what Dennis is up to. He's a fucking psychopath. But it's really good. And you know what I realized? I like this guy a lot, and the guy who plays Joe, I think he might be a pretty good Marvel. Like, he could be a good Marvel actor. Like a good.
What do you see him as?
I could see a Cyclops. I don't think it's bad. I'm telling you, dude, he's super good. But I think I'd like him more as a villain because he's a really good fucking villain. Like, he is.
Yeah. All right. The villain, sure. But no. One, he is not pretty enough to be Cyclops. He just isn't. He's a weird looking dude.
He's Dennis Reynolds.
Yeah, and Dennis Reynolds is a weird looking dude.
Yeah, that's fair.
What's his name? Penn Bagley? Is that his name? I don't
Something
know.
like that. He's like a really nice guy though. Like, which is the fucking funny thing.
Well, he's an actor.
Yeah, he's a fucking lunatic on that show.
He's got a big enough head for like the leader, but I feel, but they already have that character in there.
I would not mind him showing up as, I honestly would not mind him showing up in a Marvel movie. Like, I think he would probably be pretty good. Like, that dude is like, never forget, this was a Lifetime series, and it just turned out.
I can tell.
Yeah, but Netflix took this over and but this is done by Greg Berlanti. Like, this is his work. It's real good though.
I feel like I can tell.
Look, dude, it's not. Look, it's nothing like those DC shows. Like, no, it's not. But I highly recommend the show for people who have not watched. Go check out season 1, man. I'm telling you, it's super good. And season 2 was great too. So yeah, this is when does this come out? Like it's like October 17th or something.
October 15th.
Yeah, because something else comes out also on like the 17th, like another show that Succession is the 17th.
Yeah.
So great. So yeah, this looks great. Speaking of looks great, The Tragedy of Macbeth, starring Denzel Washington and what's her name?
Frances McDormand.
Thank you, Frances McDormand. Look, this is my all-time favorite Shakespearean play, 100%.
It's a really good story.
It's fucking phenomenal. Done by one of the best studios going right now, A24.
And done by one of the Coen brothers.
Yeah, Joel Coen, I believe.
Yeah, I'm with that. Look, Denzel Washington playing Macbeth. Yeah, like Denzel, like
yeah, dude.
I can't wait.
I'm so fucking excited for this movie. I cannot tell you.
I cannot wait for him to just go crazy. You know,
have you ever seen Macbeth? Have you ever seen a version of Macbeth?
I've seen a version of Macbeth, not in theaters, like as a
high school,
as the 5-act play.
Oh, okay. So I've seen 2 film versions. I've seen the one with Michael Fassbender, which is very beautiful, very good. But it was hard because they had like really heavy Irish accents, like super heavy. It was like, yo, I am having a really hard time fucking understanding these people. And then it was done in old language, right? So it was like doubly just difficult if you weren't familiar with the play. But then, I thought it was a good adaptation. Not great, but I thought it was good. Especially the last moments of it were excellent. But the pinnacle version is the Roman Polanski version. It's awesome. I saw it in high school before I knew who Roman Polanski was. Because I won't watch a Polanski film now because I learned he was a pedophile. But it is produced by Hugh Hefner. So there's like odd nudity for no reason in certain parts. Like, why are the witches naked in the beginning? I don't need to see these old women's like droopy titties. Like, it's just odd. Like, why? And he's like, because boobs. I'm like, all right, got it, Hugh. But Polanski's is fucking top notch. Like I don't think I've ever seen another Roman Polanski movie. But I get why people love his work as much as they do. Like the last fight in that Polanski version, like they're fighting with broadswords and it's just like 2 guys for real fighting with broadswords. And they're like, yo, hold on a second. I need to take a break because this armor and shit is mad heavy. Like it's the most realistic fight you will ever see between 2 people in armor. It's amazing. But it's great. So I am highly looking forward to this. I've read Macbeth, I don't know, a dozen times outside of school.
Yeah, well, it's about like this one man's, like he gets told that he'll be king one day, and it's about his ambition to like fucking make it. Yeah. And then like he ends up going fucking crazy, yo. Like it's a really
he becomes king
story.
And they're like,
he becomes king through various means.
Yeah, he don't give a fuck.
and he ends up going crazy, man. And
so does his wife.
You know, with paranoia, and it's really good. It's a good like tragedy. You know what I mean? And I can't wait to see Denzel Washington play this role. Yo, I gotta tell you, man, like we all love Denzel Washington, but sometimes his movies can feel kind of samey. Sometimes his roles can feel kind of samey, especially nowadays.
This ain't it.
I feel like Denzel Washington is Superman living in a cardboard world, and now he's about to punch the shit out of this role.
Look, but he's done Shakespeare before, right? He
Absolutely
did.
Yeah.
What did he do? Much to Do About Nothing, or
I think I think
Much Ado About Nothing, I think. Which is not my favorite. But I think he's fine in it. I love this. Like, I'm super excited for this. I love the idea of a black and white old school fucking Macbeth adaptation with two of the best goddamn actors as Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. Holy shit. Are you kidding me? I can't wait. By a Coen brother? Oh, by A24. Holy shit. And this is the thing that makes me so fucking mad. I am going to get Apple Plus. I don't want to, but I have to. I have to get Apple Plus. I want to watch Ted Lasso. There's all these other shows on. I have to. And I didn't want to get another streaming service. But man, this comes out on Christmas Day.
Now, is this going to be...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Streaming on January 14th.
Yeah. So technically you can go to a theater to see it if you really want to see it.
But I feel like I know people were like, our buddy Daryl, was like super hyped for the Green Knight. Like that was like his thing. I still haven't had a chance to see it, unfortunately. And like he was super excited for it. And like he was all about it. He's seen it like 5 times a year. This is my Green Knight, my nigga. Like, I love Macbeth. I am so fucking excited to see this. I cannot wait. Oh, one of my all-time favorite actors fucking playing Macbeth. That's awesome.
Do you think they'll be using Old English? Or how do you think they will approach it?
I don't know. I thought in the trailer, do they not say anything? I don't remember.
I think the witches say, by the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes.
So yeah, I don't know. I think it would be, while I love the old school language, like I do, because like some of it just has some, like so much gravitas to it. I think to make it more accessible, I think they may just go a normal language. I mean, I think they'll, still give it gravitas. It's not like, what up, yo? It's me, it's your boy, right? Like I don't think so.
Yo, baby, we got to murk these motherfuckers, yo, for real, son. Like, I
mean, part of me wouldn't mind like not this version, but part of me wouldn't mind like a real niggerish version of Macbeth. Like, I'll be serious. Like, if DMX was still alive, DMX's Macbeth would be amazing. Like, think about it though. But think about it. It would be kind of amazing. That I kind of love. DMX's Macbeth would be wild. Or right now, just Busta Rhymes. Hey, yo, Shaft. So like that would be fine. I think regular language would be fine. But I think they may do it just to make it more accessible. Because that language, sure, Shakespearean language is difficult for a lot of people, especially if you don't know the play. It takes a long time. It can take you like 20, 30 minutes into the movie before it clicks for you, right? And for some people, it never does. So I think my guess is maybe they go conventional language. But that's fine. It doesn't matter for me. Frances McDermott and Denzel Washington, I think are going to crush the shit out of this. Like, yeah, I think they are, and I'm super looking forward to it. Oh, I like when they announced this, and it was like they're doing Macbeth with Denzel Washington. I was like, I've stopped listening to the other things you're saying. Yes, I will see this movie, 100%. And I like that, like in this age, in this like sort of the twilight part of his career, this is what he goes back to. Like that's dope to me. Like that's awesome. Look, black people, if you're like, oh, I don't know about Shakespeare or whatever, yo, see this fucking movie, man. See this movie. It is a fucking great story. Holy shit, it's a great story. Just pure ambition, man. Like, and he is an asshole. Macbeth is an asshole. And Lady Macbeth is a pretty huge asshole herself in her own way.
Mean, she's she's sitting she's swinging her Gucci footed boot over there.
Yeah, like, right over that. How dare you? The nerve. Oh, I feel nervous about it.
We were talking about accents earlier. Macbeth is very much the surname Macbeth is very much an Irish name.
Yes. They can't, yo. He can't, yo. Nah, yo. I don't. No, don't do that to my man Denzel. Don't do that. Like, don't do that. I don't need him doing an Irish accent. Like, I don't.
You want Macbeth by way of New York.
That's you goddamn right. He from Brooklyn. Macbeth is, yeah. He's from the Brooklyn Macbeths. But like all I need
on Macbeth Avenue.
Yeah, Macbeth Avenue, that's right. Like does thou seeth the chopped cheese? But like what but what I need from him is like Macbeth gives some pretty stellar monologues. Like I need Denzel. I need Fences Denzel. Like
he gonna bring it, yo. He gonna bring it.
Yeah.
Like this is like you said, the fact that Denzel Washington is going back to his acting roots, the roots of all acting, basically, right?
Yeah.
And performing essentially stage plays on film just to get them out there.
Yeah.
Is phenomenal, right? Like he's doing these August Wilson things, and he's going back and doing this kick-ass story of this kick-ass Shakespearean story, like, and it will get people into this stuff that maybe wouldn't have.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And man, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I can be as excited as you are. But I'm very much looking forward to this.
Yeah,
it's only $5, man. It's only $5 a month.
That's all Apple Plus is?
Yeah, yo. It's only $5 for Apple TV.
Oh shit now. Speaking my language. Incidentally, so it's this is done according to I'm just reading the Wikipedia on this. To give the film a untethered from reality look, it's shot entirely on sound stages. That's interesting.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah,
I can tell. But it works for what it's trying to do.
Absolutely.
Right? Like if it's trying to be more of a play on film, like you don't need the big, like, expansive, like location shooting.
No, you don't.
Because it forces you to pay attention to the people.
Yeah.
And what's being said, and it focuses your attention towards them. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, boy. Look, I can't wait. I can't find any information on whether or not it's going to be in whether they're going to use Shakespearean language or not. I'm going to try to find out. But
also the rest of the cast, man. Like, it's not just those two.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. Look, man, I think this is going to be I'm really hoping that it nails it, because I want people to get into Shakespeare. Like, I think it's a travesty. It's a tragedy that people aren't, because Shakespeare, a lot of Shakespearean plays are amazing. Like, they really are. You got Denzel Washington, Frances McDormand, Corey Hawkins as Macduff. That's a pretty big role. Brendan Gleeson as King Duncan. Come on, dude. Brendan Gleeson is, of course he's in this. He's in every version of Macbeth. He has to be there. Like Sean Patrick Thomas. Like Stephen Root. Like there are some really, good names. Oh, that's interesting. Catherine Hunter is playing all of the witches.
Yeah.
Interesting. And she only does stage work for the most part. Okay.
Yeah. So, hey,
all right,
I'm about it. Let's do it.
Hell yeah. All right. Is that the last trailer for us? One more. The Problem with Jon Stewart. Yes, this is also a thing I have to get Apple Plus for. Thanks a lot, Jon Stewart. You son of a bitch.
There you go.
Yeah, Jon Stewart is back. I don't know what the date is for this.
September 30th.
Oh, fuck off. Jesus, and God damn it.
No, it's $5, yo. It's $5. You can swing $5.
I know I can. That's the problem. God damn it. I'll have to get this before the end of the week. Thanks, John. I'm not gonna not watch the Jon Stewart show. Get out of here.
It'll be look, no disrespect to Trevor Noah, but I feel like it'll be very I'm looking forward to hearing Jon Stewart's voice talk about important things again.
Yeah.
I Trevor Noah's version of the Daily Show is good. Jon Stewart's version of the Daily Show, in my opinion, is better. And
Yeah.
I just, that's just personal taste, right? But yeah,
I think there's space for both of them. I think there's space for both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. You can put them on right after one another. You can be the Daily Show and then the afternoon show, and then get Larry Wilmore back to do the nightly show.
Yep, and
we'll be all good. So
yeah, I miss Jon Stewart. I'm sad that in the last 4 years we didn't get him.
I think Jon Stewart might have fucking had a heart attack on air. I think he might have had a brain aneurysm on air.
And I think that's part of the reason he left. Like, I think he was just like, I can't do this. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't good for him. But I think now that things are calmer, they're still fucked up, but they're calmer. I think he wants to dig into like serious topics again, which is kind of cool. Because I have a feeling this is not going to be a clone of The Daily Show. I think it's more likely to be like a not dickhead version of Politically Incorrect / John Oliver show.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it will be more of a focus on one thing at a time format, like Last Week Tonight, but with more guests, like with Bill Maher show.
Right.
So
that's fine. As long as he brings his A game, and I don't see how he couldn't. I'm cool with that. But I miss him. I do miss his voice, because I think he's. I mean, he literally, his absence, I think, created something. And not to get too much into politics, but I think his absence actually created a malaise in a lot of people who looked to him, right? And like when he left. Like you saw a weird rise of people just like, fuck it, who cares? Where I think he helped to focus people sometimes. Like, look, this is not perfect, but it's not as bad as it could be. Or this is like total bullshit and we need to attack this. So it'd be nice to have that voice again. And I'm hoping that even though he's on Apple Plus, it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. That's my one fear, is that he's not on something like Comedy Central, which everyone could get. You know, and it was free basically. So, and you could like watch it online, right? So hopefully he does like what Last Week Tonight does, which is like put big chunks of his show on YouTube, right? That's a good way to get. Like I have HBO. I've never watched I've never watched Last Week Tonight on actual HBO. I've always watched it on YouTube. Right. So like, cause I watch the big segments, like that's what I really want to watch. So I'm hoping that Stewart does the same thing, because I think it's a good way to get even people who are not subscribed to your show or whatever your streaming service is, in this case, Apple TV, to still hear the message, because the message is more important than just making money. So yeah, we'll see. All right. I think that's it for us. And we will see you guys next week.
See you.